What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to some more College Football Coach Career Edition. Today we have episode 12, and it is the 2029 season, and we have the 54th ranked recruiting class, and we are projected to finish 90th and 10th in the SEC with a record of 2-10. But hopefully we can have a much better season than that. As you look at the roster, it's starting to somewhat take shape here as Marquise Archie's here for his senior season. So he'll be gone after this. But the rest of the roster, for the most part, is relatively not maybe necessarily underclassmen, but we should have them through next season as well. And like I said, as we're scrolling through here, there's definitely some work we need to do, but it's definitely an improvement upon the first 2 or 3 years we've been here in Tennessee. So let's go ahead here and get right to the schedule. And we're kicking things off at Illinois, who are not ranked very high, 105. So hopefully we can get things started with a win. And we do, 24-17 in overtime. We start the season 1-0, and now we'll go to Tulsa, who are the 81st ranked school. And we get another overtime win, 27-20 this time. So we start the year 2-0, and we're up to the 50th ranked. So let's close out the non-conference schedule with a home game against Southern Mississippi. And we get another win, so we get a huge 3-0. I believe that's the best start we've had in this entire series through the 12 episodes. But now we got to open up conference play, and that's going to always be tough in the SEC. And we're doing that on the road at Auburn, who are the 47th ranked school, so maybe we can upset them on the road. We do not, so we fall to 3-1 with a 45-13 loss. But we are at least in decent shape to start the year with a strong non-conference showing. Marquise Archie through 4 games, 641 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Not terrible. Derek Wesley, the sophomore running back, 415 yards, 5 touchdowns already. Definitely on pace for 1,000 yards. And then senior running back Braylon Harrison, 189 in a score. Junior wide receiver Aaron Robertson, 168, 2 touchdowns. He's 84 overall, so that's good to see. And then senior Jonathan Lynch, 211 in a score. Nico Tyson, the junior, 95 and a touchdown. I believe he is playing for someone who's injured. But Warren Armstrong, the sophomore tight end, 77 overall. Only 111 yards, but it's not terrible. And the O-line is definitely protecting us a little better, as you can see. We're 3-1, so obviously they're doing a little better job than they usually do. The D-line is probably the best D-line we've had. Jake Campbell for his senior year, he has 1 sack so far. Bozeman's still looking for a sack. Hayden has 4 sacks, the junior. Singleton, the sophomore, doesn't have any. True freshman Jared Myers, one of our top recruits, has a pick already, 25 tackles. Marquise Hart, the sophomore, couple sacks and a pick for him. And then true freshman Maurice Higgins, 3 interceptions already. So our linebacking core is definitely doing some work. Emmanuel Stewart, no picks for him. Will Elliott, the sophomore, same thing, no picks. Vince Summers, a couple picks already. He's an injury replacement. See, he's not our true nickel corner, but he's off to a pretty good start. So that does explain the 3-1 start at least. So now we're going to try to keep things going as we get back to conference play. Week 5, we're at Ole Miss, number 26 ranked school, and that's another loss. So now we're 0-2 in conference, unfortunately. Week number 6, we're going to be taking on Georgia back at home, trying to get back on track. And we get another loss, and Robertson, our star receiver, is injured and going to miss 3 weeks. So that is not something we want to see. and definitely something we don't need at this time. So we're 3-3, and now we're going to take on Kentucky in Week 7. And it's another loss, 21-7. So we are winless in conference play. All three of our wins have come during non-conference games. But Week 8, there is some hope. We are versus Mississippi State. They are ranked number 100, and it's a home game. So hopefully we can get back in the win column. And we do with a 20-6 victory. Improving to 4-4 on the season. Our first conference win of the year. And that puts us at 1-4 in conference, 4-4 overall, good for 10th in the SEC. So stats now here through 8 games. Marquise Archie, 1,400 yards, 8 touchdowns to 4 picks. That's pretty good for him. Derek Wesley up to an 83 now, 663, 6 touchdowns. Kind of slowing down a little bit there, but still on pace for 1,000. 256 and 2 for Harrison. Lynch, the senior, 535, 4 touchdowns as he's playing for Robertson. Robertson should be back here in a couple weeks, though. Nico Tyson, 222 yards. Jimmy Thompson, the senior, definitely not 58 overall. Definitely not going to see the field other than the fact that Robertson is injured. Terrell O'Brien up to a 90 overall, our senior O-lineman. So it's going to suck to lose him. Campbell up to an 86. He's got a couple sacks. Bozeman's up to an 83 with 1 sack. Theo Hayden has 6 sacks in his junior year. He's an 83 overall. He'll be back next year, so that's good to see. Jared Singleton with 1 sack. On to the linebackers. True freshman Jared Myers, already an 81 overall. Just absolutely tremendous to see that. 62 tackles. And then Maurice Higgins has 30. So, yeah, Myers is definitely... Hopefully he can make the all-freshman team, you would think. Emmanuel Stewart, still looking for that first interception for him. Same with Will Elliott. Vince Summers still playing. He's got a couple picks. Up to a 69 overall. Marquise Pollard, no sacks there. And Tucker Kelly, the injury replacement, does have 1 interception. So let's finish out this season. We are currently 4-4. We need to try to win. We need to win at least 2 more games. I'd like to win 3 to definitely lock up our first bowl game appearance. But looking at the schedule, it's going to be very tough. We're facing all ranked schools. We got number 7 Alabama this week. So it's not looking good. And we lose 35-6. Fall to 4-5. Now we go on the road to Florida. We're going to need to upset a couple of these guys. And we cannot. 49-10, so we're 4-6. We got to win out and get lucky and hope we can make a bowl game. But it's not looking good as we face the 19th ranked school in South Carolina. And we lose 16-39, effectively ending our bowl game hopes. But we got to close out the season here at home against Arkansas. They're the 14th ranked school. Maybe we can end on a good note. We cannot. We lose 20-6. So absolutely heartbreaking conference schedule as we go 1-8 in conference play. Our only win against Mississippi State. After starting the year 3-0, that's heartbreaking. And we end up 10th in conference with a 1-8 conference record, 4-8 overall. Man, that sucks. Marquise Archie, though, ends his career 2,000 passing yards, 10 touchdowns, 6 picks. So he had a fairly good season for us, I guess. Can't be too mad at him personally. Take a look at his career numbers. Through 48 games, he ended up with 7,000 passing yards, 39 touchdowns, 42 picks. So yeah, he definitely wasn't our quarterback. He's not going to be remembered as the greatest quarterback, that's for sure. Derek Wesley ends up with 935 yards, 6 touchdowns. So he just misses 1,000 yards again. But he will be back for his junior season and probably going to be our best player next year. in terms of overall rating. Braylon Harrison ends up with 297 and 2 touchdowns. Was only a 2-star recruit, so, played 33 games for us, ends up with 699 career yards and 4 touchdowns. And then Jonathan Lynch, the senior wide receiver, ends up with 848 yards, 5 touchdowns. I wonder why Robertson did not come back. Through his career in 48 games, Lynch ended up with 2,096 yards and 11 touchdowns, 190 catches. Pretty good career for him. And then Nico Tyson, the junior, ends up with 311 yards. And Jimmy Thompson, 35 yards. I don't even think he really saw the field for us. Tight end Warren Armstrong ends up 366, 2 touchdowns. He'll be back for his junior year. And then we are going to be losing O'Brien, unfortunately. He could probably go to the NFL. On to the defensive lineman, Nelson Bozeman, the senior. So, ends up with 3 sacks. Look at his career stats. He ends up with, in 48 games, 70 tackles, 10 sacks, 1 fumble. And then Theo Hayden, he'll be back next year. He had 7 sacks. Ike Wood, he didn't have any sacks. He was injury replacement. True freshman Kyle McNeil, he also injury replacement. So true freshman Jared Myers ends up with an 81 overall as a freshman, 108 tackles, 1 pick. So hopefully we can get him on the all-freshman team. 63 tackles from Marquise Hart. Higgins had 60. Emmanuel Stewart, the junior, does not end up getting a interception. Will Elliott ends up with 1 interception, 1 sack. Summers, 2 sacks, 2 picks. Safety Pollard did not have any interceptions. And then DK Gunn, same thing. So, let's take a look at the bench here real quick, actually. I want to see what happened to... Yeah, Robinson was actually still hurt. So he ended up with 389, 3 touchdowns where he got hurt. And then, Campbell was the senior that ended up with an ankle injury. So he's done. Through 46 games, he ended up with 16 sacks. So he was a very good player for us. That kind of sucks to lose him. Didn't get to finish his season. So Offensive Player of the Year goes to John McKnight, the running back from Virginia Poly. They were the number 1 ranked school again. They kill it every year. Defensive Player of the Year, Brian Chambers for Illinois. So we actually faced him and beat him in week 1. Coach of the Year, Nicholas Bateman of Virginia Poly. Freshman of the Year. Come on now. Freshman of the Year, Dan Henderson, quarterback for Florida. I was trying to see if we had a guy on there. We did not. All-American team. As we're still looking for our first All-American team. We've had a couple guys on the freshman team. Hopefully we can get another one. All-freshman team this year. No, we did not. I thought for sure our linebacker would have been on it. And I just skipped through that on accident. So I guess we can't see if we made any all-conference. Probably didn't. And Virginia Poly loses again. Washington gets the national championship. And we ended up with a 78th ranked at 4-8. We were projected to go 2-10. So we actually gained a prestige point. That's good. We're up to 69. Basically, I'm sure I've said it before. Basically, what that means is you basically just get more money for your recruiting. Not a whole lot. You got to really go up a lot. And we have some offers, but we're going to decline them. We have 2 years left, so we really need to start winning, or we're going to get fired. And I don't want to get fired. I like the school. And we have nobody transferring in or out. On to recruiting. like I said, we're losing Archie. Jonathan Lynch is leaving us. Campbell's leaving us. Bozeman's leaving us. So we are losing a few good players, but for the most part, everybody's coming back for another season. But first and foremost, we need a quarterback. That is the biggest thing we need. And we are going all in on a quarterback this year. And we're going to go the cheapest 4-star route, but we're still getting a 4-star quarterback. Kendall Martin. $300, almost half our budget just on him. But we need a quarterback. We want to win. And that's how we're going to do it. So we're going to bring him in. Wide receiver, we have a top guy in Robertson coming back, so we don't have to address that right away, I suppose. Kendall Martin's going to be a 74 overall as a freshman. Robertson's up to an 89, so that's pretty good. We do want to get a second receiver, though. We need some O-line, a little bit of D-line. The linebacking core is decent. Corners. Safeties would definitely be probably our biggest need. We're going to go safety first. We grab Kirk Justice. Jimmy Tate for $95 is pretty cheap. AJ Adams for $74. Get Donnie Tyler for $88. And then we pretty much have to go cheap the rest of the way because we are about broke. With only $66 left. And we're going to try to fill in D-line. You can get Tyree Turner for $1. We'll go that route. And Miles Pearson for $9. Reese Franklin for $22. DeFron Jones for $1 as we are trying to find the cheapest options here. Antoine Jordan for $18. Well, we can get Joey Atkinson for, he's a better recruit for $2 extra. Or two less dollars rather. Gabe Burnham for $6. We have $11 left. We can get Jason Shelby for $10. And we'll get kicker. Tim Henley's a free player, so we'll take him. And then we'll also take Clifton Moody. We need another kicker for next year. And that'll do it for our recruiting class. Probably not going to end up being the best class because we had to spend so much money on that quarterback. It was probably going to be up 95th ranked. So, but we got the quarterback of the future. And we are projected to finish 0-12. That doesn't seem right at all. But looking at the squad with true freshman Kendall Martin, that, he may have a rough year this year, but the rest of the squad looking good. Derek Wesley back for his junior season. Robertson back for his senior season. The receiving core, the rest of the way, not maybe the best, but respectable O-line. The D-line is relatively young at the moment, but I think they'll be all right. Linebacking core will definitely be the anchor of our defense, and we're kind of slowly building up the secondary again. So that's going to do it for today's video, guys. If you want to enjoy it, please do smash that like button down below. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already for more College Football Coach Career Edition, as well as the other series on the channel. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Till next time.